Are we attached to the idea of having the perfect experiences? What happens when the perfection, so-called perfection of the day, doesn't pan out? For it not to pan out means there had to be a projection made on what's good and what's bad. What if it all starts to fall apart? What happens when the bills aren't met? Car payment is due and the money's not there. House note is due and the money's not there. What happens then? The husband, the wife was not nice. The children aren't behaving. The job, it's not fun anymore. Are there attachments to only the good experiences? Are we trying to create a so-called reality, what we call reality of good experiences? Sure, of course we want to treat others with love and respect, but what happens when they don't return that same love and respect? Does that change our nature? Does that change who we are? Does that change how we respond to them? Of course, it doesn't mean that we roll over and allow people to abuse us. But does our nature change? Who we are? It will respond perfectly each time if we stay within that nature. Is there attachment, though, to only the good, what we consider the good? Any attachments is going to cause a need to control, a need to try to hide or protect or, control the environment. What happens when the environment is uncontrollable? Is it okay to let go? Is it okay to let it be undone or done? However, it's okay just to step back and allow whatever is going to happen, the movement of the day, just let it flow. Found myself very subtly having a small attachment to, what was it now? I guess to having good experiences. Not all the time, but it was just I used to want things to go a certain way. I always wanted not to be a last minute, I guess, when it comes to things such as bills or, planning thing, making sure, the money was in there at a certain date or things of that. And I've gotten to the point where I'm like, it doesn't even matter. If the money's there, it's just there. I know it's going to be there, but I don't have to plan every situation to be perfect. If it's not perfect, it's okay. And it was not only in money, it was in life in general. If I painted a room, I wanted the room look painted forever. If it was still a little nick, I would go behind and, paint over that little nick. I've gotten to the point where let the nick be there. Someone's being decides to be a certain way, and if I've done all that I could do to try to give them the love that they need or they're reaching out for, and if they don't respond in kind, I'm okay with letting that go. Let it be. I'm not even going to get myself involved in the drama, the chaos that they're experiencing if they're not in a nature where they can respond, or they can, look at it as help or look at it as love. I don't even insert myself anymore. Someone doesn't specifically reach out and say, hey, can you help me with this? I'm not, I don't feel, if there's no intuitive nature to feel moved, to move, I'm not moving. Because otherwise you just get mixed up in someone else's drama. And at that point, it's, if they don't ask you for any help, it really is, it's not going to be taken as help. So it's best just to be, let it burn. I'm okay with just letting it burn. Let it be as it's going to be. I find that my day is much more, it flows much better if I'm not busying myself in other people's business or, trying to be savior to the world. It's okay to let go of all those attachments. Even the most subtle are trying to have a perfect day, perfect situation, perfect experiences. Trying to create a bubble of just love, that's even an attachment. Because what is it that we're protecting ourselves from? There's a saying that, I think I could have said it even at one point in time, but protect the energy, protect your energy and all. Why are we doing all this protecting? Is there a reason? Do we need to have this perfect environment to where, what can we learn from trying to create a bubble of perfection? Is there even a real thing as being perfect? I mean, what is that? And what would be considered imperfect? Isn't everything learning? Even love, you learn from love as much as what you would consider not. So is making this bubble of perfection, having an attachment to perfect experiences, going to create the proper environment for us to grow our unveiling, for the unveiling of our true nature? And don't get me wrong, sometimes it's good to go within. You have to turn away from all external content, but that's only in order for the source of life to recognize your true being from everything else. So you have to turn in. Sometimes you have to turn away. But is that turning away means we're just trying to protect our spirit or block us off from those who are, what we consider harmful or toxic? And sometimes, when it comes to people who are only interested in causing, having that toxicity at the forefront or chaos, or in their world chaos, they're not trying to, they just love that type of energy. Yes, I'm not saying just go embrace that so you can learn and grow. But if there's a projection of, you're running and hiding from all that you feel like is negative, then something's off with that. Because that's a judgment in itself. because what you're looking at as negative could be your best unveiling, experience. So no, we're not gonna try to create and just build a wall of good experiences around us into a box. Because reaching out sometimes, when the most people that help or you can receive the most learning from, a lot of times wouldn't be considered good people. You can learn from everyone. Every experience lends an opportunity of learning. So judging where our learning comes from is another form of a control or attachment to good experiences. So yeah, this is what came up, and let me see, is there anything else? Sometimes we just have to do what Usher says, let it burn. Let it burn and face pretty much even the uncomfortable. The uncomfortable experiences it lends the most, really, learning and expansion within our own being, Not that our being isn't already full. It's really just unveiling. So more of that being can come to the forefront. So basically, there's no need to run. Sometimes facing those things that are uncomfortable. It's like when you get a new job, just stepping out there the first time in your new career, Any new experience the first time, sometimes there's a little unsteadiness, whether you're a surgeon and that's your first surgery. A lot of times when I first started my job, I always felt like, I work with patients. I felt like, oh no, I don't want to break anybody. I felt like they were so delicate. Now that I realize nobody's really that delicate, you're not going to go in there and break people, giving them exercise. But it's always that first time just jumping in, and it's like any other experience. You just go and you, be present in the moment. You find all of any kind of fears or apprehension that there may have been, just kind of drizzle away in the moment. And that's how we can just face what we call life. It's just let it burn. Let the doing or undoing be. Be present in the moment. And when you're being present and in your true nature, the response you give will be the perfect response, whatever that is. And so, yeah, thought I'd leave you with that came up. Thank you for sharing this moment with me. Remember, I'm here for you. Remember, I am here for you. Remember that you are beautiful, and I love you.